This is Markin Out. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. We marking out, y'all. Follow on Twitter. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. We marking out, y'all. Marking Out. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. We marking out, y'all. Brennan likes fisting. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. We marking out, y'all. We're marking out. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans.
Welcome to Markin Out, Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. This is episode 794. Hey, thanks for listening. Make sure that wherever you are checking us out, such as on markinout.com, but also I'm talking about on Spotify, you're giving us a 5-star rating and also leave us a great review. Praise us for how great of a podcast we are providing for you for so many years because we enjoy it. And buy a t-shirt, prowrestlingtees.com/markinout. Also, give us a like on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at markinout, on TikTok at markinout, and on Instagram at markinout11. You can follow Chris at CMSweeney85 on Instagram and Chris Sweendog on Twitter. And follow me, Dave the Rave, at DavidPTDPT on all social media platforms. Also follow Brandon at BTTG161 on all social media platforms. Brandon, how are ya?
I am doing awesome as always. How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic. Ready for my next vacation break. That's for sure.
Yeah, you had quite the vacation.
Yeah. That I did. You know, me, Chris, Sal, and their families, we went down to Universal Orlando in Epic Universe. We also went to Islands of Adventure, and it was a ton of fun. It was epic. It was Epic Mania.
Do you have a favorite ride you went on?
Favorite ride? Probably Stardust.
Not the monster? Not the monster gimmick?
I love the monster gimmick. I rode it 3 times. But
so,
as much as I really did love the monster ride, but roller coaster, I think Stardust was top notch. That was fun.
How about a solid food item?
The solid food item,
which could be liquid. I didn't mean it like that, though.
Yeah, no. The best. I had the blood orange chicken sandwich in one of the Dark Universes places.
The tavern.
And that was, one of the taverns, and that was delicious. I think it was at Das Steakhouse that we had it. Well, that I had it, and also something delicious. I had the salmon. I had salmon at the Island of Burke, in the mead hall, and the mead hall was just really cool. All of these places had incredible themes.
You didn't get a cone?
No, I couldn't. I saw it there. I saw people walking by with it, and I just couldn't. I wanted to try it, but nobody really wanted to try it. I couldn't eat it on my own. I would have to share it with someone, and nobody really wanted it or was able to, and I knew that I wasn't going to be able to do it, so I passed on it. You could only eat so much, and I wasn't going to be able to. Also got to eat at Toadstool Cafe, which was really cool.
Did you go to the Simpsons, Springfield, and everything?
Yes.
Before it maybe closes? Who knows?
Yeah, we actually had a beer over in Moe's Tavern. We went on the Simpsons ride and stuff like that. And that was really cool to go to Moe's Huh?
How was the Simpsons ride?
It was fun. It was more so a motion screen ride where you sit in a...
it's a simulator.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a simulator. Yeah, it was a simulator. But it was a lot of fun. Simpsons was a lot of fun. All of the places were a lot of fun. The Harry Potter gimmicks were really cool. The Ministry was awesome. That queue that you have to wait on is really, really awesome. Just everything that they did. I recognize that they have all these office buildings in this area where you're putting one of the people on trial. And the way that they designed it was, obviously there's a ceiling, but it goes up into the clouds, and they have lightning going and stuff like that. But the office buildings on the side, if you look at the very top of it, they made it so this way it looks like the buildings are actually going up into the clouds, like they have it as an illusion. And I thought that was really cool. Dark Universe was probably my favorite universe to go in because I'm a huge mark for the monsters. So Werewolf, Dracula, we did see we did see the Invisible Man, and we did see Igor. We did not see Igor, though, but we did see Igor. That ride was just, I marked out the entire time on that ride.
It sounds like you like that more than Stardust then.
It's so I marked out the first time I went on. I marked out for that, but Stardust, I'm a big roller coaster fan, and the Monsters attraction isn't really a roller coaster. It's more of a you sit in it and it just moves you around, and you turns you sideways and up and down and all around. But it's not an actual roller coaster, and I really love roller coasters. And Stardust, I wasn't expecting it to be what it was. And what was really cool also to add to the experience of Stardust is I did it the solo ride because everybody else went back to the hotel at one point. So I did open and close at Epic Universe on Friday. And then I did open and close Universal Studios. Actually, I think all three parks on Saturday too. And everybody kind of left at one point because everybody was getting tired and
you
going back to the hotel.
From open to close?
Yes, I did.
That is absolutely insane.
Yeah, they said that too. I didn't do that on Thursday.
You're getting your money's worth out of that, but that is nuts.
Yeah, Thursday we started with Universal Studios and stuff, and we only stayed to the park, I think, until like maybe 5, I think probably 5. I forgot. But then after that, we went back to the hotel. We stayed at Dockside, and we went to the pool, hung out at the pool a bit. But then the other days, I did do open to close on Friday and Saturday, and I was beat. But I made the most of it. So when everybody left, I started doing the single rider. So I was able to do Stardust, and I got on the single rider, and I asked I would always ask them if it's okay if I could sit in the front row, please. And everybody let me. So they allowed me to go and wait on line for the front row for Stardust, and I was talking to the person that was in charge of the lines that was up at the gate. And I was just like, yeah, this is my first time riding this, and he's just saying how it's a great ride, you'll love it. I'm like, oh, I'm very excited, I'm looking forward to it. And then he was just like, well, when you get off, have you been on the other side yet? And I'm like, no. And he's just like, when you get off of this run, just go find that person, and they'll walk you all the way around, and you can skip the line, and you could go on the green line and sit front row in there to compare it. And I'm like, okay. So I got off, and then he was just like, yeah, go talk to that person. So I went over there, and they're like, yeah. And they walked me. I didn't even have to leave the line. They just walked me around full circle to go to the very front of the line on the other side.
That's awesome.
Like pretty much as if I had an express pass to do the front row. So I did the front row of the yellow line first, and then I did the front row of the green line. And it was so much fun. The rides, the roller coasters that they have at the Island of Berk were a lot of fun too. Everything that they have is so immersive. The Super Mario World is incredible. It's like you're walking into the video game. We did not take a picture with Luigi or Mario, but we did take a picture with Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon. Yeah, it was just amazing. And then at the hotel,
did you make it back to
WrestleMania.
Nickelodeon Studios?
No, I totally forgot where to look.
Did you see?
Yeah, I totally forgot.
21, I believe it is.
To be honest, I don't know. I'm not too sure if I even saw where the Blue Man Group were performing now. The Velociraptor coaster was incredible. That was a lot of fun. Kudos to Maddie. She went on there. And then I got to say that on the last day, so we were waiting online for the the ride that was in Harry Potter, like Gringotts, the bank roller coaster, the one that's a bank, and we got fast passes because it got closed down for a bit. So they gave us fast passes to utilize, and it was the last day. It was Saturday. Everybody was already back to the hotel, and I was just like, I don't know what to do. Like, I want to use this, and I have to get on all of the. I really want to get on all of the roller coasters. So I was in Island of Adventure. I was hanging out in the Marvel region. The old school, like it was like old school Marvel, which was interesting, like the old school comic book Marvel, not the Avengers Marvel that you see now. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So I was over there and my phone was dying, so I had to charge, and I was hiding out in the shade. And then I saw the time, and I'm like, okay, I want to try to get in one more ride, and I have to use this fast pass. So I was going to go to Kong or the Mummy, and I realized that Kong was more so a motion simulator, and the Mummy was an actual roller coaster. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get on the train from Harry Potter to go to Hogsmeade, to go to the Universal Studios, and then I'm just going to book it over to the Mummy ride. Because it was probably like 5 o'clock, I think it was, and the park closes at 6. So I was it was probably just getting past 5, and I'm like, okay, I really have to. So I actually sprinted a little bit through the park. So I kind of like fast-paced sprinted at times around the crowd through Jurassic Park, got to Hogsmeade, took the train from Hogsmeade over to Universal Studios, and then from there, I booked it to the Mummy. I used my Fast Pass, and I got into the Mummy at like probably 5:30, around there, 5:30, 5:45, I think 5:30. And I got into there, and I gotta say, I told Rachel and everybody else, I'm like, why do they have this like ride still? Like Brandon Fraser and stuff like it just feels very outdated, the Mummy ride. So I went on this ride. I gotta say, I was very impressed with the Mummy roller coaster. It was a legit roller coaster. I was not expecting it to be as much fun as it was. So I think that the most unappreciated roller coaster there is definitely the Mummy, because that was a lot of fun. And I think maybe because I didn't expect it to be what it was. I was kind of disappointed. I didn't get to see any minions walking around.
I enjoyed the Mummy ride when I was younger.
Yeah, I was surprised.
It goes backwards, right?
Yeah, I think we did go back. Yeah.
It's funny because when I picture the Mummy ride, I know it's nothing like that, but you know the ride where they all threw up in the Sandlot that they used to have at Adventureland? That's what I picture the Mummy ride as.
Huh. No, yeah, it's nothing like that.
Yeah, well, I guess maybe because it goes backwards, so like that's why I picture it like that.
Yeah, no, that ride was very surprising. Yeah, everything that was there was cool. We did eat at the only franchise that we did eat at was Jimmy Buffett, Margaritaville, which was I mean, actually, I shouldn't say that. It took a long time for us to get our food, so that was a downer. But I did enjoy the fish that I got.
Margaritaville. It's not like
I'm sorry.
The food is fine at Margaritaville. It's not like the greatest, but it's fine. It's passable.
Exactly.
I think it's more than passable. I would say passable is like Buffalo Wild Wings, barely passing.
Yeah, like I knew I needed to sit down and actually eat something because I know myself at conferences, and once I have my adrenaline pumping, I can what I did. I could do open to close, no problem, and push. But I know myself, and I know that if I don't eat or drink, I'm going to really crash hard. I mean, Brandon, you remember me at WrestleMania in Miami. I get very hangry as well.
I remember you on many occasions.
Exactly. Like, I get hangry, unfortunately. Like, I need food. So I did eat as much as I could whenever I was able to. I stayed hydrated.
Except for when you bought opted to not buy the cone in Isle of Burke.
So that was actually right after I had the salmon, the hiccup salmon. not the Hiccup salmon ball. I had one of the Hiccups grilled salmon. I think I had. It was pastrami seasoned salmon, and it came with potatoes, carrots, onions, and dill fennel sauce, and that was delicious. That was at the meat hall, and so right after that, I saw somebody with the cone, and I'm like, oh damn, I can't do that.
Butterbeer, yay or nay?
Oh, so I did have it. I could only have one.
So it's
I wouldn't be able. It's an experience.
Was it hot
I think it's
or
worth
cold for you?
I had the frozen. I had the frozen butterbeer. If you love butterscotch, perfect. For me, I liked it. It was refreshing. And that's what I needed, was refreshing, because it was so hot down there. But it wasn't like I couldn't it was so sweet, I wouldn't be able to have two of them. But it was definitely enjoyable. For one, I wouldn't be able to do two. Yeah, it was just so much fun, and we got to celebrate Chris's birthday as well. So happy birthday, Chris! Big time shout out to the godfather of the podcast. I know. So we actually got Chris a, what was it, Peach's birthday cake or something like that at the Toadstool Cafe.
Or something?
Yeah, right. That would be hilarious if they did, but no. Oh, the Mario Kart racing ride was really cool too.
I heard that one.
The downside, huh?
I heard it sucks.
So I liked it. I thought it was fun, but we went on it twice, and I wouldn't be able to do it again because the thing is, I wear my glasses. Oh. So anytime I have to put like one of those VR glasses or the 3D glasses over my glasses, it gets kind of annoying because especially if it's a shaking ride that moves really rapid, the glasses just always shake and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be able to do it again. We did Donkey Kong, which was fun. Yoshi's is skippable, not worth the wait. Yeah, but overall, it was amazing. E.T., we went on E.T.
Did they say
and
David?
That was, he did, and talk about outdated. You know, I think that there's a lot of things in the park that needs to be upgraded, and E.T. is one of them. They got to do something with that. Incredible Hulk was a great roller coaster as well.
You don't get wet on that, right?
On E.T.?
No, on the Incredible Hulk.
I didn't know that you switched it over so fast with me.
What do you switched the topic?
No, I don't think you do. I don't think you get wet on that.
Because I know it goes through the water. But I don't know if it ever like splashes or anything. But it sounds like you had a great trip to Universal Studios. Remember. Hey Brandon, what'd you do last week? Should I say it?
Well, when was the last time you've been?
Inside 2008.
Okay.
City Walk 2017.
Would you go back to like
it's
Epic Universe?
Ridiculously expensive, so I don't. It's like $200 for a normal ticket.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. City Walk is pretty interesting too. A lot to do there. I actually got to meet up with brother Jared. We actually got food at, what was it, Red Oven Pizza? I think it's Red Oven Pizza, and that was really good pizza too. A lot better than the pizza at Dockside.
Yeah, if you go to our TikTok, you could see what Dave ate.
Yes,
maybe
go
Instagram
check it out.
by the time you watch this, listen to this. I mean,
yeah. But Brandon, what about you? What'd you do?
Well, last week, after I will say in 2005, I had grown my hair out for a year. And in 2006, I cut it, and I decided that after every 5 years, I'll grow it out for 5 years, see what it looks like, and then I'll cut it to donate it. I donated my hair last week for the fourth time, I think maybe third time, to Wigs for Kids. But they don't charge families for wigs. I took 14 inches off. It's definitely a lot shorter than I was anticipating.
I think you look very handsome with that haircut now. I'm just saying.
I learned not to comb it today, so.
What do you mean?
I combed it this morning, and now it's all, like, awful. But it's funny because it reminds me of my hair in high school a little bit. But I feel like I'll continue growing it out every 5 years and donating it. So I encourage everybody listening, if you can, donate your hair.
Yeah,
do it to Wigs for
it's
Kids.
A great
they don't
cause,
charge, like I said. So
yeah, great job, Brandon, with donating your hair and stuff like that. Do they have a donation for beards or no?
I would assume not, and I'm not cutting my beard.
I'm just saying, it's something
I
to
don't
consider.
think anybody's like, oh, I need to get a fake beard.
Have
this
you
is
seen
more
your
so
beard?
for
Your beard is
little girls who have alopecia and cancer.
Yeah,
so
but
I don't
also,
think they're taking beard hair.
You never know. People may be going through circumstances and want facial hair. You never know.
I don't know.
Never know.
Well,
but it is awesome that you got to do that.
Yeah, but we had WrestleMania 42, Las Vegas. Night 1, Las Vegas Mass Choir performed God Bless America. I thought they were really good. It was cool. Lin-Manuel Miranda did the cold open. And then John Cena, the host of WrestleMania, came out, Neutrons, suited up, said he's not going to run down to the ring. He kind of jogged it a little bit. I thought it was a nice hype speech.
Yeah, solid opener.
The set and everything I don't think was better than last year's, because I thought that set last year was really well done. They had less time to work with it, and I thought I really liked the set this year. Everyone was complaining about it. I thought it fit. I think the graphics were nice.
Yeah, I thought that I thought that everything was totally fine with it. I didn't have any issues.
Yeah, I really liked it. I can't wait for it to be in 2K26. They also had a Danhausen blimp floating around the stadium. I think that was pretty cool. We'll talk more about him in a second.
That I totally marked out for was the Danhausen blimp. And even all of the interactions with the Fanatics, whatever, the
WWE
what
World.
is it, WWE Universe?
It's WWE World.
Yeah, WWE
We're
World.
the WWE Universe.
Everything that was Danhausen there. Like, I was really surprised. They really are cashing in on that Danhausen.
Yeah,
but
we had the first match of WrestleMania 42 kick off on ESPN2 for the first time ever. The Usos teaming up with LA Knight, picking up the victory over the Vision and I Show Speed. The Usos had another brand new theme song, kind of. Now it's just you and me, Us. So it's kind of goofy, but again, I'll take it.
They got to make up their mind what they want.
I also like that the Usos and LA Knight had matching gear. I give them credit for that.
Mm-hmm.
Speed started the match with LA Knight. And I like how they played this match with Speed. At one point, Speed saved himself from a BFT by pushing LA Knight into Logan Paul. Logan Paul gets knocked off the apron. Austin Theory went to go make Speed attack Austin. I forget who. And then LA Knight ends up sending Theory into Speed. So that was basically the end of the match. Get the BFT, boom, 1, 2, 3. Logan Paul was pissed off. Knocked Speed out. I'm not so sure about how I feel on him selling that, because he was up by the time of the end of the segment, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
They went to put him through the commentary table. The Usos and LA Knight, they were standing there watching, and then they made the save. And they had Speed jump off the top rope to put Logan through it. I thought that was awesome. The match
that was
itself,
a great spot that everybody spoke about.
Yeah, it was a basic stuff from Speed, but I thought very well done for him.
Exactly. I feel like this stuff, like, if somebody else did it, okay, it's pretty basic and stuff, but for Speed to do a spot like that, I thought it was very enjoyable. Curious, do you think that it's going to lead to Speed versus Logan Paul at SummerSlam, maybe?
I don't know about that.
I mean, it could. I wouldn't put it past something like that. That could be very viral for WWE to do.
I mean, if that happens, I need Logan to not be tag team champion if that's happening.
True. Well, I mean, we'll get to everything else, but could happen. But let's go on to the next matchup. Jacob Fatu picked up the victory over Drew McIntyre in an unsanctioned matchup. These guys went at it. What about that entrance for Fatu, too?
I think both of them had... I think a lot of people on WrestleMania had dope entrances.
True.
I was a big fan of all these entrances. And a lot of people are like, oh, it doesn't feel like WrestleMania. I'm watching these entrances. It feels like WrestleMania.
Yeah, I don't understand what didn't feel like WrestleMania.
I think this match...
Everybody's like...
Yeah, everyone is like that. Yeah. Without you having to finish
everybody's
the sentence.
Like just staying in the past.
But I think this match is what you could have expected from it. I think maybe it could have been a little bit more brutal. At one point, you had Drew McIntyre wrench Jacob Fatu's eyes. I think the chair slams from Fatu look brutal. Jacob Fatu went through a table. Drew McIntyre went through a table also. He went the double jump moonsault, and that's how Jacob Fatu won the match.
Mm-hmm.
I was a fan of this. People hated night one. I thought this was a fine wrestling event. I didn't hate anything on this card.
Yeah, I didn't hate night one. I didn't think that night one was the best WrestleMania ever.
It was unfortunate because they just had shorter matches.
You know what's funny is I saw the timing of all the matches. The timings actually didn't bother me too much though, because like I thought that the timing was actually very well done. Because if it goes on, if you have everything going, if you give 25 to 30 minutes to every single match, for me personally, I get drained at the end of it.
I think so. Though, for them to have the opening match, though, the opening 6-man tag, obviously you need to fill that 1 hour on ESPN2. So I understand why that was shorter, but it felt like that match was short. Stephanie Vaquer versus Liv Morgan, it was short, but then it came out that they apparently did that because both of them went into the match banged up. So,
and what's funny is I wasn't bothered by how quick it was, though. But next up, you had Fatu picked up the victory. But next up, you had Paige and Brie Bella pick up the victory over Bayley, Lyra Valkyria, Nia Jax, and Lash Legend, Charlexa, and Bayley and Lyra. Wait, you have that written twice.
You said that already, Dave.
Yeah, to become the new tag team champions. I was like, wait, hold on. No. So Brie Bella, Nikki Bella, they came out at the start and they announced how Nikki is not able to compete, but that they have an old friend that they're going to bring on out, and it was Paige.
Huge
Apparently
pop.
It was spoiled, though.
Yeah. I saw it. It was unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Now my question...
So, I know, like, I saw, like, Nikki or Brie said that they're going to find out whoever spilled the beans about Paige.
Yeah, I doubt they'll find it, but... Well, I mean, Brie said she remembers who she spoke to, so maybe they will, but who knows?
But who are you going to blame for that? Who does the blame go to?
I don't know.
Who's the person that told people?
The website?
Yeah. Well, no, but Nikki and Brie, no.
Well, I think they were talking to people in the company who needed to know.
I would keep my mouth shut.
But there were people who needed to know, probably. So one of the people who needed to know is the stooge.
I don't know if it was people who needed to know, but honestly, when you're gonna have,
that's what it seems like. I liked the Bray Wyatt tribute from Alexa Bliss. I popped big time for the demolition gear from the champions.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it's great to see Paige. They teamed together. Her and Brie teamed 10 years before at WrestleMania 32 as Team Total Divas on the kickoff show. The match itself, fast-paced, chaotic. I liked seeing Paige and Charlotte team up for a second. I thought that was cool. Nikki got involved. and took Charlotte out at one point. Paige got her knees up for a twisted bliss. She hit the Rampage. She got the victory off of that. You could see on her entrance, by the way, I don't know if you noticed that at all. She was like shaking.
Yeah, I did see her hands and stuff. I mean,
she did Stephanie McMahon's podcast this week. I listened to that. That was great. I believe they already filmed a WWE retrospective with her. So that's awesome. She talks all about the WrestleMania appearance with Stephanie. But yeah, I'm very happy that Paige is back. She's cleared. She's sober. So I'm very, very happy for her.
Yeah, it's nice to see her back and healthy. And Twitter's going to be Twitter, of course. And I'm very happy to see her back. Next up, you had
I really wish that Bayley and Lyra Valkyria won this match. But with Paige returning, how could you not?
Exactly. You have to, But next up, you had Becky Lynch pick up the victory over AJ Lee to become the new Intercontinental Champion. I thought that this was a fun match. I thought that this was fine. I thought that the end was fine. I thought that the time that they had was fine. I thought it was good.
No, this match was fine. The entrance, though, I think the Wonder Years, did they lip sync? It kind of seemed like they were not singing loud.
Oh, yeah.
But I like Jessica Carr was the referee here. That tied into the match, and she caught Becky Lynch taking the turnbuckle pad off at one point. She tried to put it back on. I liked the story that they told with the Black Widow. That AJ kept trying to lock it in. Obviously, that's what Becky Lynch lost every single match to, I believe. But Becky Lynch reversed that a few times. She got into a shoving fit, I guess you could say, with Jessica Carr. AJ Lee hit the manhandle slam. Becky Lynch kicked out of that. She took the pad off again, pulled Jessica Carr in front of AJ. She smashed AJ Lee into the turnbuckle. She hit the manhandle slam. She gets the victory. I think we both predicted Becky Lynch to walk out of Mania as champion.
Yeah, I think that was a good idea to have, and I think I don't know what's going to happen next with AJ Lee, but I think that I don't have to see AJ versus Becky again.
No,
I'm satisfied with it.
Yeah.
Next up, you had Gunther pick up the victory over Seth Rollins. This match was hard hitting. I was surprised that this match was a little bit quicker, but once again, I was okay with.
I mean, to be fair, also they did a lot before the match was even started.
True.
But I thought they had a lot of really good back and forth here. It made me excited for what Gunther could do the next time he actually retires someone. Like, everything in this I thought was so good and so well done. The dives, the power bombs, the stomp on the table. And then Braun Breaker came out, speared Seth Rollins. Gunther locked Seth in the sleeper to get the victory eventually. And then Breaker sprinted back down the ramp and speared Seth again. I don't know if Gunther saw Braun Breaker or not there.
I'm happy that other spear happened because the first spear, he didn't really fully connect with it. So I'm glad that he did go for that second one.
Is it weird that I thought he had already returned and then I clicked in my head that he hasn't been back on TV yet?
That's funny.
I think because of how heavily rumored he was for Madison Square Garden, in my head he had already returned.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's funny. But next up, you had Liv Morgan and defeat Stephanie Vaquer to become the new champion. Entrance-wise, I don't know.
That song is fire. For me. A lot of people are saying it's fire. A lot of people are like, it's a dumpster fire. I completely disagree. I think it's a fantastic song. She did a whole dance routine for the entrance. Stephanie Vaquer's entrance I thought was awesome. Like the flower petals and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked how this match started. Yeah. I liked Liv try to hit the Devil's Kiss. That got reversed. Stephanie Vaquer hit the Oblivion. I really liked that part of the match. Roxanne and Raquel got involved. That led to Liv hitting the Oblivion, but Stephanie Vaquer kicked out of that. She took the Judgment Day out, and then Liv accidentally took Raquel Rodriguez out. I thought that was going to lead to Stephanie Vaquer getting the victory. Liv eventually hits another Oblivion, gets the victory. disappointed that she won, but overall I'm fine. I thought it could have been a longer match. Obviously, like we had said earlier, it was what it was because of what it was. I can't complain on that.
I think that for what it was, the time-wise, I think because everything that happened in the match, I think that it was like 5, not
maybe
even 10
minutes,
I think. Yeah, I think that was fine because I think that the benefit of having some of these matches 5 to 10 minutes was that there was no real time for any dead time.
It didn't feel like for weeks we've been seeing brawl, and most of these matches didn't feel like that. Seth versus Gunther felt like that.
True. I don't know, but if they had an extra 10 minutes on Morgan versus Vicaire, it's still not going to feel that way. I think that they started off very hot,
I think they would have gotten there if they had more time, but
like
I said, theirs was cut for safety reasons, so I'm not going to complain about their match being shorter.
No, and you know what? I love the fact that you did have the involvement of everybody else in Judgment Day, and then I love the fact also that Liv Morgan, cutting to Monday Night Raw, says how Vicaire was absolutely correct. That she couldn't win without her.
That was I thought that was a great delivery. It reminded me of with Triple H attacking Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, she was like, "You're right. I couldn't do it without my friends." And I'm like, "Perfect." Everybody that said that they wanted her to win, like they didn't want the outside interference and this and that, she just addressed all of that by being like, "I needed them." And guess what?
Let's not jump to Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, okay, keep it going.
John Cena appeared next to announce the attendance of WrestleMania, and then Bianca Belair surprised everybody, came out to a huge pop, and announced that the attendance will have to be one more, and showed off that she's pregnant somehow with abs. I didn't know that was possible. Kudos to her.
With abs? I didn't notice the abs.
Yeah, she still had abs somehow. I don't even know how that's possible, but she had abs. Like, she had it. So congratulations to her and Montez Ford. I thought that was a cool WrestleMania moment. I liked John Cena saying thank you for sharing your family moment with our family here, or whatever he said. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I think that John Cena was made for these spots. You know, the hosting duties. Like John Cena, he's just perfect for that role. And I'm glad that he's on contract with them.
And he's doing, apparently he's heavily involved in WWE Club or Club WWE. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm not joining. I would maybe like to see those never seen t-shirts that they're teasing. So,
I mean, I just want to see John Cena enter, was it that he was going to join a TV show? I forgot what, but obviously I'm not going to take 5 minutes to think of what.
Main event of WrestleMania Night 1 saw Cody Rhodes pick up the victory over Randy Orton to retain the WWE Championship. I thought Cody's entrance was incredible here. It was like, I guess Batman based, perhaps? Had a bunch of past attires of his. I feel like Dashing Cody Rhodes was not represented, though. I don't think that was represented there.
True.
But Pat McAfee clocked Cody Rhodes before the match. Randy Orton beat him down. Cody fought back, and then Jelly Roll showed up, elbow dropped Pat McAfee through the table. That took both of them out of that. Pat was stretchered out. That had me thinking we were going to see somebody big interfere in the actual match.
And I was happy to see them do this before the match even started to kind of eliminate them from ringside.
They also mentioned that there were rumors that Randy Orton might have been injured going into this match, so that played a factor into it. But overall, it started out super slow. It picked up. Randy Orton got busted open at one point. Cody Rhodes was also busted open at one point. He hit that draping DDT that Randy Orton does, all while all the fans are booing him.
Mm-hmm.
Cody was doing the RKO taunt. Randy Orton moved, hit Crossroads. Orton went for an RKO. Cody reversed it, hit one. A bit after that, Randy Orton hit an RKO. Cody poked Randy Orton. And Orton hit Charles Robinson with an RKO by mistake. I like that aspect where, I mean, you could say Randy Orton didn't see who it was. I feel like placement wise, it could only have been the referee.
I know.
That spot.
I was wondering if you were going to bring that up. It was the placement. I was just like,
but like at the same time, he was blinded.
Just got poked.
So like
he just got poked in the eyes in front of him. But now Cody's going to sneak up behind him.
I mean, it's possible he could have tried for a crossroad, so it makes sense.
Okay. Kinda. I like your justification. I'll go with it.
And then Cody Rhodes low-blowed Randy Orton.
Once again, I think that all of this, he's going to end up bringing out that heel side of Cody Rhodes. We've been seeing this heel side of Cody Rhodes being teased, 2 WrestleManias ago, I think? Right? I don't remember if it was just last year's WrestleMania or 2 years ago, but we've been seeing this Cody Rhodes being teased even with the John Cena match. We started seeing these signs, this side of Cody Rhodes. Is he using the chair? Will he not? So maybe we're going to see a full turn at some point soon.
And then Orton turned the Cody Cutter into an RKO. Pat McAfee ran down as the referee. Sunglasses, neck brace. Not super slow, but if you're trying to screw one person and help the other, that was a normal count.
Yeah.
And then Randy Orton took him out with an RKO. Fans went nuts.
Yeah, for that normal count, he ended up getting an RKO for that.
Yeah, Cody hit Randy Orton with the crossroads, gets the victory off of that. Kind of makes Randy Orton look stupid.
I know. When that happened, I was like, I don't.
But aftermath of this, I thought this was fantastic. Randy Orton grabbed the title, clocked Cody Rhodes, and then punted Cody Rhodes. I can't tell you the last time we saw a punt. And then Cody's eye, after the WrestleMania ends, it was swollen shut.
I mean, even I texted you, but I couldn't even remember the last time WrestleMania main event ended with the loser of the matchup actually
I honestly think the last time that was WrestleMania 2000, but The Rock was a face taking out the thing. McMahons.
Like, it hasn't happened in so long. Like you didn't have the fireworks display for Cody Rhodes.
How dare they do this? This didn't feel like WrestleMania. There was no feel-good ending. They gave you something different. You've been begging for something different, and they give you it, and then you complain. It's the same thing. IWC over and over again. It's loops. It makes no sense.
Why? I thought that this end was great.
I thought it was fantastic, man. I thought it was so well done.
That's insane that people actually were complaining about the ending of that.
Give us something different.
That was great.
We're giving you something different. No, not that different. Give us the same thing but different.
You know the same people probably complained at the Avengers movie.
I don't know.
How
dare they snap all those people? Bring them back, damn
Why
it.
are you sending us? We send us home happy. Why are you doing that? Stop it.
WrestleMania Night 2. Joe Jonas was advertised as just Joe Jonas. You had DNCE there as well, performing the Star Spangled Banner. Did they actually put DNCE on the? Yeah, they had DNCE. No? Yeah, they announced Joe Jonas with DNCE there.
Oh, gotcha.
I feel like he might have been the biggest name there since Aretha Franklin. Ooh. You had some pretty big names after him. Like the year after Aretha Franklin, you had John Legend. I think Joe Jonas is bigger than John Legend.
100%. I personally, I don't know Legend. I just know his name. I don't know him.
Also, by the way, with DNCE there, it marks Jinju Lee's second time performing at WrestleMania. Not a single mention. I don't understand how they like. She performed America the Beautiful with BB Rexa at WrestleMania 37. How do you not mention? She's a 2-time WrestleMania performer. How rare is it that somebody performs more than once at WrestleMania?
That's very true.
Aretha Franklin performed twice. Cool. I don't know who else did.
You ever see Aretha Franklin perform?
One time. It was supposed to be Aretha Franklin with, I'm forgetting his name. I can't remember who it was supposed to be.
Was it later in her career?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, what are you talking about? I was born in '89.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're not seeing her, but I mean, like, was she still like?
She was still good. Yeah,
age? She's incredible. But
I forget who it was supposed to be. It ended up being the dude who owns the Garden.
Oh,
that was quite disappointing.
Oh, yeah, Dolan.
Yeah, James Dolan and his band, who I had seen already open for Eagles, I believe at that point. Yeah, maybe I didn't see that actually. I saw that first. It was supposed to be Al Green.
That's booking yourself to be over a bit.
I don't know what happened with Al Green that night in 2011, but he got replaced by JD in the straight shot, and then it was a few years after that I saw them open for the Eagles again. So that sucks.
JD
the band is fine. Listen, the band is fine. I don't need to see that when I mean, you're not replacing Al Green.
Yeah, he was just
That's
like,
not a
Al,
sufficient
you know
replacement.
what? Al, JD here. Not going to work for me, brother. Not going to work for me, brother.
Yeah, so that sucked. But yeah, that's when I saw Aretha Franklin. I really wish I got to see her more. So, yeah. But I'll talk more about Joe Jonas later. You had John Cena come out, hype up the WrestleMania crowd again. He spoke about being live on ESPN, and people booed. I thought that was hilarious. And then we opened first match of the night on ESPN, first time ever. Obafemi picks up the victory over Brock Lesnar.
Incredible.
The fans went nuts for Obafemi's entrance. It gave me goosebumps. That entrance gave me goosebumps.
That entrance was just amazing. Like, it's so cool. And I love to hear that reaction that he got from the audience. And I got to say, I think that to have this matchup start off, especially with them being on ESPN, I thought, at first I was questioning it, but then I was just like, you know what? It makes total sense. You got Brock Lesnar on ESPN. Obafemi, huge spot for him. Perfect placement.
It opened with a stalemate, which I liked. And then eventually, Oba knocked Brock down. He was the first one down, was Brock Lesnar. Brock got pissed. He left the ring.
That was wild.
Got Oba out there and fought him, and then went back, hit some Suplex City. Obafemi got out, hit some running elbows to the corner. Actually, he ate an F5 first. But he got up, chokeslam Brock Lesnar, hit fall from grace.
Hold on.
I was very surprised by that.
Hold on. That F5, once he hit that F5, he didn't even really fully hit the mat. Like, he touches the mat, but right away he gets up on all fours, and you see him in the background, and you're like, oh my God, he's still there. And then he gets fully up, and like you said, he just goes right into that choke slam. That was perfect.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
I was very much so hoping that Oba would win, and we got Oba winning. And then afterwards, Brock took his gloves off. He took his boots off. I expected Gunther at SummerSlam to retire Brock Lesnar, so it's possible still, but we don't know.
You know what? I thought that this, for anybody that wants to trash Lesnar for not putting over people or trying to help out the business on his way out, watch this match. I have never seen, or it's so rare to see Lesnar do something like that, especially to somebody who it's his first WrestleMania.
Yeah.
This is Oba's first WrestleMania match. He's been on the main roster for 3 months maybe? Not even. And for him to put over Obafemi in such a way that he got knocked out from Obafemi, I thought that was incredible. And like you said, he left his boots and stuff like that. He threw up the X to Paul Heyman, and they embrace each other, and Lesnar got a bit emotional. I do agree with you. I think that Gunther is going to play a factor in this. I do think, especially because SummerSlam is in Minneapolis, Minnesota, it would only make sense. The only downside about this is that we just saw it with AJ Styles, with him leaving his stuff in the middle of the ring. But on the other hand, Well, no, but how AJ did that, and then he had them in Saudi Arabia, and then he had the matchup with Gunther after that. So right now we're having Lesnar leave his stuff in the ring, and then he's having his match with Gunther after that as well.
What are you talking about? That was Saudi Arabia. Wasn't it?
No. No. AJ Styles retired in his hometown. In Georgia, I believe.
That was...
He left his...
that was a...
Remember? Because he put the... I think he put the gloves back on.
That was... Yeah, no, but that was a segment. He retired...
Exactly.
He retired at... I mean, he put his stuff down at the Rumble. In Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, to signify that he was retiring.
Yeah, and then he specifically said he kept the gloves because he put the gloves back on because he wanted to do that in Georgia.
Well, he said that
so that's
after
not the same,
fact, though.
Yeah, but that's not
at the time.
It wasn't a match, or anything, though, like you're saying.
But also like it wasn't a matchup for that, but it's very similar to the fact that we didn't know that
Brock wrestles
AJ...
though. It's not the same.
Mm-hmm. Why? Because
AJ
AJ wrestled.
There's a big... No, he didn't. That was it. That was his...
No, AJ's
last
Gunther.
match was Gunther.
Exactly.
That was the Royal Rumble
Gunther
in Saudi Arabia. You're like messing things up in your head right now. That was his last match. His last match was his last match. He didn't do a Shawn Michaels.
Was it?
Or
He didn't have
like
a match
that.
after that?
No. AJ's last match was the Royal Rumble. The next match of WrestleMania saw Penta pick up the victory over Javon Evans, Rey Mysterio, Rusev, JD McDonough, and Dragon Lee in a ladder match to retain the Intercontinental Championship. Rey Mysterio had his pop-up entrance. That was awesome.
I marked for that.
And this was awesome. This was a fast-paced match. Tons of action.
His entire attire was incredible, Rey Mysterio.
Deadpool?
Yeah. No. Was it Deadpool?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I liked...
Dragon Lee, it sucks that we couldn't see his wings and stuff like that on the show.
I don't know why they got jobber entrances like that. That sucked.
Yeah, Penta didn't get a jobber entrance. He got this Mortal Kombat entrance.
Yeah.
And that was pretty cool. But
this
matchup was amazing. This matchup had me... So at this point, I was in flight from Florida to New York. And thank God I was able... Like, my flight was delayed by 2 hours, I think.
Did you watch
2 or 3
on
hours.
ESPN's app on the plane, or did you watch it on the TV?
I watched it on the TV. Because at this point, my phone was zero. I had no battery.
No charging.
And the JetBlue airplane didn't have any electrical outlets.
Don't you hate it? Like, it's 2026, man.
Like, I'm ready. I don't think I'm going to fly JetBlue again.
But I feel like every airline is like that, here to miss, I assume.
United is incredible. But they had no outlets at all. So I watched it on a TV screen that was probably the size of your cell phone. Like, it was an old school one, airplane.
That sucks.
So I was watching it on there, and what was pretty funny is during this matchup, the Oba matchup I was marking out for, but then during this match, like, there were so many spots where, like, the Mexican destroyers and stuff like that, where I was, like, physically, like, moving and adjusting, throwing my body around, like, we're like, oh, like, and I would let out, like, audible. I would be like, oh, like, there's a Mexican destroyer that happened through the ladder, or whatever spots that were taking place. I was audible, oh, and it was just pretty funny because the person next to me did look over a few times to see that I was watching wrestling. And yeah, I'm a freaking mark.
I liked when Penta launched Rey Mysterio to the outside to put Rusev through the bridging ladder with the West Coast pop. I thought that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think a destroyer ever put somebody through the ladder.
No, it wasn't through it. It was where
He did the destroyer to JD off the ladder. There was a bridging ladder in the ring.
Yeah, that's the one that I'm talking about. That's the one that really got me to move. Was that I was not expecting. That was so smooth.
Javon at one point had grabbed the gimmick that holds the title up top, Rusev moved the ladder, so he ended up dangling for a little bit. And then Rusev went to climb, and Javon popped up out of nowhere, knocked him off the ladder with an OG cutter. Penta
that
hit another
OG cutter was something else.
Yeah, and then Penta hit another destroyer to Javon Evans with the assist off the ladder.
And that destroyer, that destroyer I marked out so hard because it was out of nowhere, and I believe I forgot how he set it up.
It was almost like a springboard sort of situation.
Yeah, it was something that it was just not expecting. So for him to hit that from the position that he was at, I was like, holy crap. What I really loved about this match is I think that every single wrestler in this matchup shined. I think commentary did great with all of them too, because commentary put over all of them. They put over JD McDonough, they put Dragon Lee, Rusev, Michael Cole, I believe, or whoever was on commentary, legit put over every single person in this matchup to make you believe that, oh wow, I'm watching a legit ladder match with people who could main event WrestleMania at some point. And I thought that because it was on ESPN, I thought it was important.
Yes, that's very true. I was surprised Javon Evans lost. I'm happy to see Penta retain.
Same.
After that, we saw Trick Williams pick up the victory over Sami Zayn to become the new U.S. champion. Lil Yachty was back with Trick Williams. He got booed, but Trick Williams got a huge pop. And Sami Zayn, Trick Williams, by the way, came out with the longest, what is it called on a wedding dress?
Oh.
I had it during WrestleMania, and I don't have it anymore in my head. The train. He had the longest train on his jacket ever. That was a crazy, crazy jacket for his entrance. Yeah. But Sami Zayn definitely worked this match heel. And he got booed a lot for taking Lil Yachty out, so they flipped on Lil Yachty during this match. I thought that was really cool. And he really laid it in on Trick. He hit a haluva kick on the outside like he did to Lil Yachty the other week to Trick Williams. He went for another haluva kick in the corner, but Lil Yachty pulled Sami Zayn. Trick almost hit the referee with a trick shot. Sammy went for another haluva kick. Trick Williams rocked him with that trick shot and got the victory there.
Mm-hmm.
That was a fantastic victory for Trick Williams there.
And I'm so happy he got that victory. So happy he got that victory. Trick Williams, he deserves it. He's been working so hard. And, I mean, if you look at the roster for Night 1 and Night 2, look at what's happening to the people that just got that call-up from NXT, especially on that night. I mean, Javon Evans, Trick Williams, and then the night before, same night, Oba Femi. These are three people that were huge in NXT, and look, they're already in matches at WrestleMania.
I mean,
I thought that was awesome.
Did you say Stand and Deliver? Is that what you mentioned?
No.
Because that was the main event. Mm-hmm. Stand and Deliver 2025 was Oba Femi, Trick Williams, and Javon Evans.
Oh, you see? That's yeah. But next up, you had Demon Balor pick the victory over Dirty Dom in a street fight. And Demon Balor, that entrance was incredible. I love
streamers were dope.
Yeah, the streamers. And I love the streamers, how it just fell across his face. And it looked really cool because he took a swipe to clear his face.
Yeah.
But the way that the streamers were kind of covering his face, it just looked really menacing and cool.
I like Dom's King of the Luchadors entrance with real, actual independent wrestlers from Mexico. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Including one that's been, I could have sworn was signed to AEW. I guess that's not true. Gravity, Bandito's brother.
Wow.
He was part of that entrance. But it was a pretty standard street fight. I like Dom doing the 619 with the chair wrapped around Balor's head. Balor wrapped it around his neck later, hit that shotgun drop kick. I thought that was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
He put Dom on the table for the coup de grace, gets the victory off of that. I was hoping a street fight would have given us some AAA involvement, given that Dom refers to himself as the King of the Luchadors. But the fact that there was no other like outside interference, like the Judgment Day didn't show up.
Yeah. Which kind of is enjoyable because Judgment Day, JD McDonough, prominent Judgment Day, he was just in a ladder match going through hell. So
but
if he showed up during this match,
even with like you could have easily had Raquel and Roxanne show up, but I was a little surprised that didn't happen. Mm-hmm. And I'm completely fine that it didn't happen too.
Yeah, I agree with you. Next up, you had Rhea Ripley pick up the victory over Jade Cargill to become the new champion. This was good.
I really didn't know what to expect from it, but I enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. Mia Yim and B-Fab got involved.
The reversal was cool.
Jade Cargill hit the one-winged angel. That was surprising to see.
Yeah.
Io ran out to help Rhea Ripley. Rhea hit the headbutt.
Obviously, I guess that would... Is that said? Like, is it legit a throw to Omega?
I think she even tweeted that, but she doesn't call it the one-winged angel. It was what did she call it? Michael Cole already had a reference name for it.
Gotcha. So it was probably a reference to Kenny Omega as like an homage, like a thank you.
Probably. But Jade Cargill reversed the riptide off of there. She hit the pump kick, went for Jaded, and then Rhea reversed that, hit a riptide, and got the victory.
And that reversal I marked for.
I thought this was a very good match. Yeah. Well, I don't want to say very, very good match or anything, but I thought because I really had no idea what to expect going into this, so I think it worked.
It was good.
After that, John Cena came out and announced the attendance again. Combined nights, over 106,000 people. WWE can't sell anymore. They sold so many less seats, but 106,000 people. Oh my goodness, right? Such a low attendance. Can't believe it. But you had Miz Kid interrupt this segment. And Miz said that he's not leaving without a WrestleMania moment. And John's like, okay, have it. He backed up. And then Danhausen showed up with Mini-Housens. The midgets, as Michael Cole explained. That's what they wanted to be called. Miz was pissed off, obviously. Kit Wilson shoved one of them down. Another one punched Kit Wilson below the belt. And then they all jumped on him. Danhausen attacked The Miz, did a 5-knuckle shuffle. The Miz was carried out. I thought this was a hilarious segment. I thought this was fantastic. One of the people that were in this segment, like, said how exactly everything happened, like, from segment to segment to segment, or from part to part of the segment, and how everything came together. It was not supposed to be as long as it was, and they just kept Miz went to him and was like, do you think you guys could, like, carry me? They tried it, and then they added that to the segment, and they just kept adding to it. I thought this was fantastic. Huge for Danhausen. I thought this was great.
I agree. This was hilarious. The pop for Danhausen. You knew that pop was going to happen at some point. You wanted to see Danhausen. He had the blimp. When this happened, it was incredible. And I got to say, one of the best videos I have seen wasn't actually on the event itself, but it was John Cena being carted up the ramp with Danhausen's wife.
Yeah.
With Danhausen and the Mini-Housens running after the
was
car.
Was it Danhausen's
and
wife
John Cena
and not John Cena's wife?
I thought it was Danhausen's wife, from what I saw. I don't know.
John Cena's wife was in that cart.
Was it?
I thought
it could have been. So John Cena and John Cena's wife, but even still, Danhausen running up, chasing John Cena, and John Cena just like laughing his butt off as he's looking over at Danhausen and the Mini-Houses chasing the cart off. I thought that was hilarious. But main event of night 2, Roman Reigns picked up the victory over CM Punk to become your new champion. This matchup had everything, and I think that the story coming into this about CM Punk being old was greatly played out, and it came into the factor when he was starting to struggle down the line with the matchup, and he was huffing and puffing, but Roman Reigns, he still had some gas in the tank and was able to pull out that victory.
Yeah, I mean, people marked out big time. CM Punk used the AFI theme for part of his entrance.
Mm-hmm.
I liked his jacket paying tribute to everybody that passed away for him.
Yeah.
I liked that somebody had a Zebro sign right in the front row. I thought that was really funny. But the crowd was super split here. They were super split, and they had a lot of good back and forth. They had a lot of good reversals. Roman Reigns at one point went for a GTS. CM Punk escaped. He kicked Roman Reigns. Punk hit a Superman punch. Grabbed an Ulafala from a fan and went for a spear. Roman caught him with the guillotine. The guillotine, whatever you call it. Punk turned it into an Anaconda Vice. It was just like, which then got turned into another choke. It was just so well done. Yeah. Everything in this was so well done.
I'm going to ask you about that spot. What's your take?
What spot?
Steel steps.
How are you going to say I'm going to ask you about that spot and not even bring up steel steps? I don't even know what steel step spot you're talking about.
I figured you would know exactly. Where Roman Reigns had CM Punk in the Tree of Woe position, and Roman Reigns in front of a referee picks up the steel steps and smashes CM Punk in the face with steel steps.
I mean,
they
mentioned
watching.
Referee's discretion. I don't know how that wasn't a DQ. That busted him open too. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm like,
Roman put Punk through a table after that. I don't know.
Like, they protect the referee. Do something so the referee's not at least looking directly at you.
The only way you could spin it is that it's the main event in one of the biggest matches of WrestleMania history.
I mean, maybe you could say that.
Like commentary said, ref's discretion.
Exactly, ref's discretion. Maybe you can say, like, the steps aren't considered an actual illegal weapon if you use it, because, I mean, how many times do we see people Irish whip into it, or even using the commentary table? Right. It's not, like, if you put somebody through a commentary table, technically you use the table as a weapon to, or
but
you
it's ringside, so
your
it
head,
doesn't count.
Exactly. Like, you take their head and you smash it onto the commentary table. It's not a disqualification. So, rest discretion, like you said.
The title itself
overall,
was created
incredible.
because Roman Reigns never defended the WWE and Universal Championship. So, I didn't need this outcome. I can't really recall many Roman Reigns matches, though, that didn't have him do it by himself. So, I was impressed there.
Yeah,
I thought this was standard, fantastic. Straight up one-on-one.
Yeah, and this was a great ending, and Roman Reigns is our champion going into the next few months of WrestleMania. I mean,
and he
WWE.
said he's not a part-timer, no longer a part-timer, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that entire the post-press conference, whatever they call it, he mentioned that he's going to be around all summer long, so we'll see what that does.
Yeah. But that was WrestleMania. Moving over to Monday Night Raw. The Raw after WrestleMania. It kicked off with Obafemi. The fans were already chanting his name. I don't really know how they knew that, but a huge pop from the crowd. And he said, "The ruler has arrived," and then he left. I think that was plain, simple, fantastic. Got the point across. Yeah, Rio pick up the victory over the Kabuki Warriors. I'm glad to have seen a more dominant side of Kairi Sane in recent weeks. But she hasn't won a match a lot. She won a few weeks ago, maybe last week. But I like at one point towards the end, Kairi Irish whipped Io into the ropes. And instead of going back for to run back towards her, she did a suicide dive. That was a crazy spot on Io's neck. I don't know how she did that. She dove out onto Asuka. And then Rhea Ripley hit the Riptide, and Io hit the Moonsault, got the victory. And then later on, Rhea said goodbye to Io. And she had a small exchange of words with Liv Morgan. I thought that was interesting. I guess maybe teasing perhaps a match between the two of them at Night of Champions, maybe? I'm not sure. We saw CM Punk come out. No music. And then he did the It's Clobbering Time, and then the music hit. And he spoke about the people who passed away recently, and he said that the fans helped him get through those losses. And he said that he stays ready because you never know when a championship opportunity will fall out of the sky. Cody Rhodes came out and said that he feels like a loser. And CM Punk was like, well, you're not a loser. And Punk said that you never know when you need to, or he always stays ready. You never know when an opportunity will happen. And Cody was just like, say when. Ethan Page, making his main roster debut, picked up the victory over Javon Evans. I don't know if this was to become number one contender or not. for the Intercontinental Championship, but it's been 10 months since they've had a match together, and for some reason it felt like it's been a few weeks. But Rusev got involved. Javon took him out. He went for the OG cutter. Ethan Page pushed him, hit the twisted grin, got the victory, and then Rusev jumped Javon Evans afterwards. Penta tried to make the save. Ethan Page got involved again, helped Rusev out, and Rusev was the one that ended that segment on top. So I don't think Ethan Page was number one contender after that match. So it seems like they're going to be moving towards, I mean, at least the four of them, but more so it seems like they're pushing Rusev versus Penta. You had the Judgment Day come out. Liv Morgan thanked them for their help, I guess, like David said earlier. And she thanked Stephanie Vaquer for reminding her of a feeling that she hasn't felt in a long time. And then Sol Ruca interrupted. And they went back and forth. Liv was pissed off. And before anything could happen, Adam Pearce showed up, made this match official. Liv Morgan picked up the victory over Sol Ruca. To me, this match made me care less about the last woman standing match at NXT. Because this was an official main roster debut for Sol Ruca. I would have liked to have felt like it was a bigger thing than I felt, but I couldn't because of that match. I like Sol Ruca reversing the Oblivion. She hit the Soul Snatcher off of that. Liv Morgan rolled out of the ring. Sol hit the Solskjaer special and took out the Judgment Day, and then Zarya showed up and attacked Sol. She got back in the ring. Liv Morgan hit the Oblivion. So it did tie into the last woman standing match. I just wish they hyped it up as her main roster debut. So I wish that match maybe happened last week then. The last woman standing match. You had Pyro hit afterwards. Stephanie Vaquer showed up, stared down Liv Morgan. The Vision came out. Paul Heyman said that his favorite part of WrestleMania has always been expect the unexpected. And he said that he'll hold that moment with Brock Lesnar in a special place. And then he snapped on the guys in the truck for having Brock Lesnar in the now opening video instead of the forever opening video. He moved on to talk about tag team wrestling. Logan Paul blamed their loss on iShow's speed. Paul Heyman thanked Gunther for beating Seth Rollins and said that when he's ready, he's willing to repay him. And then he brought out Braun Breaker. He mentioned it being the 1-year anniversary since he took over as the leader of the Vision. And he said he's coming after Seth Rollins. And then Seth showed up from behind, took Braun Breaker out of the chair. Braun Breaker got busted open. The Vision took Seth Rollins down. And then, my surprise, I think a lot of people surprised, the Street Profits showed up. They made the save. I was not expecting the Street Profits in that segment. I don't know what the connection between the Street Profits and Seth Rollins is. But Seth beat him down. Breaker speared him. And then later, Gunther was interviewed and he said that there's not a him in Paul Heyman. That's not a thing. Paul owes him a favor. That's it. And people should look forward to him being champion again. LA Knight interrupted and said that since Gunther needed help beating Seth, it's more of an L. So that gets in Gunther's head there. We had Finn Balor pick up the victory over JD McDonough. This started before the match. They fought in the crowd. Because of that, I was surprised to see this match actually happen. I don't recall ever seeing someone move back from the shotgun dropkick that JD did. I thought that was awesome. I thought that was a really cool reversal by JD McDonough. Finn Balor did hit it, though. He hit the coup de grace. And then after the match, Dominic attacked Finn Balor. And Finn Balor got the upper hand, stood tall. To close Monday Night Raw, we had Roman Reigns. The Usos came out with him. By the way, Roman Reigns came out to his old theme song. That was interesting at WrestleMania. But his new theme song, I believe, on Monday Night Raw. But Roman said that he misses having them with him. And when they're together, no one can touch them. There was a Shield speech. I believe he had the same promo with the Shield. And he wants them to stand with him, not serve him. Jacob Fatu showed up. I thought he was about to join a bloodline again, or that version of the bloodline. And he said that he needs the title. And he laid out a challenge for Backlash. Roman was like, if I beat you, Or if you beat me, can you handle being champion? And if you lose, can you handle having to acknowledge me? And Roman was like, I'll give you a week to think about it. It seems like we're getting Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu at Backlash. I thought that was great to see Jacob Fatu immediately step up. Roman Reigns says, I'm not going anywhere. Immediately steps up when we get Jacob Fatu. If we get the Usos joining up with Jacob Fatu and turning on Roman Reigns or leaving Roman Reigns, I'd be even happier. Moving over to NXT Revenge Part 2, you had Miles Bourne pick up the victory over Dion Lennox to retain the championship. Miles Bourne took Dark State down at one point. They got back up. It distracted him for Lennox to take over. They got involved multiple times, maybe at least like 5 times. But Miles Bourne was able to send Dion Lennox into Saquon Sugars. He hit Bourne again, gets the victory. Dion Lennox was pissed off at Saquon, and Saquon then apparently went to Rob Stone. Got himself a match for next week against Miles Bourne. Dark State seems like they're headed out. Or on and out. Breaking up. You had Kiana Carver pick up the victory over Joe Hendry. It was announced on Monday Night Raw that Joe Hendry will have a concert next week and will be on Monday Night Raw from now on. So it's like, it's kind of the same sort of situation with Liv Morgan and Sol Ruca here. It wasn't a one-sided match, but I expected Carver to win, given that we already knew that Joe Hendry was on main roster already on Monday Night Raw. I also expected Carver to be more of a beast, but that wasn't we saw a little bit in the end. He elbowed the absolute hell out of Joe Hendry. The referee called for the match. Continued for afterwards, and I thought maybe the referee could have reversed the decision there, but I think they're definitely setting him up to be a big player in NXT. After that, you saw Lexis King pick up the victory over EK Prosper to become the new Speed Champion. Like the first match, there was a lot of distractions here. Birthright, though, got taken out. Ariana Grace got a slap in on EK Prosper. Lexis King hit the coronation, got the victory. I thought Prosper was going to get the victory here. You had Tatum Paxley win a casket match to retain the championship over Blake Monroe. The last time a casket match, they said on commentary, was a title match. Royal Rumble 1998, Shawn Michaels and Undertaker. I thought that was pretty cool. Shiloh Hill at one point made sure that the Vanity Project would not be involved in this match at all. So they set up Jackson Drake with, they did an AI profile. So they went on a blind date. He also told Tatum that he just kept telling people on SmackDown that he was supposed to be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. So I thought that was really funny. And Saints attacked Shiloh later on. So we're going to be seeing that next week. But Tatum tried to use her dollhouse at one point. Blake Monroe reversed it, dropkicked Tatum into it. I like Tatum Paxley hitting the Spanish Fly off the casket. Blake Monroe hit the Glamour Shot DDT off the casket. I thought that was cool. I thought that was creative. Blake also got, she saved herself at one point from losing the match by using Blake Monroe's championship. I thought that was a very creative way to save her from not losing there. Blake got it away from Tatum and used it as a weapon. She dumped out diamonds. They used that. Tatum countered the Glamour Shot DDT instead of using them. Instead of getting hit on the diamond, she hit the Cemetery Drive onto them. She hit a rolling kick to knock Blake Monroe into the casket, got the victory. After that, Lola Vice came out. She spoke about beating JC Jane last week and how JC elevated the women's division. I thought that was really cool. I was not expecting that. And she spoke about the women who showed up last week after the match. And she said, you can try to take the title, you're not taking it. And then the Culling showed up. Izzy said that Lola's just acting like she took out the whole division. And said that she'll be champion. The Culling surrounded Lola Vice, and then Lola Vice got taken out by Izzy Dame. So we got a clear path for the next challenger, I assume. Main event saw Zarya pick up the victory over Sol Ruca in a last woman standing match. I expected this to be more of a brawl. which we got. I mean, we got the platform spot where they both went through it, which I'm kind of over. Zarya hit the F5 off the barricade through the table. That was probably like the craziest spot, which Sol Ruca got up from. But Zarya had a table set up by the platform. Sol Ruca moved it. That gave Zarya time to recover. She pulls out another table. That gave Sol Ruca time to recover. Zarya got put on the table. Sol Ruca climbed up to the top of the platform. Zarya followed. She went for a spear and Sol Ruca jumped over her for a hit a soul snatcher there. And then Zarya begged Sol Ruca not to throw her off the platform. They did a Lion King gimmick. They hugged. They cried. There was real emotion there. And then Zarya pushed her off through a table. She bumped her head pretty hard. Got stitches, I believe. That was a crazy spot for Sol Ruca. But Zarya gets the victory off of that. So that was NXT Revenge. Moving over to SmackDown, which I will say is a bit difficult to speak about. Because before SmackDown aired, they released a bunch of people. And a lot of these names are very, 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 very puzzling. Kairi Sane, Aleister Black, Zelina Vega. I wasn't even going to talk about this, but the Wyatt Six, Santos Escobar, Motor City Machine Guns, Apollo Crews, Andre Chase, Zoe Stark, Alba Fire, Tyra May Steele, Serena Linton, Tyson and Tyreek, Malik Blade, Chris Island, Trill London, Luca Crucifino. I don't understand, man. Kairi Sane, mid storyline. Aleister Black, Zelina Vega slated for the main event. And then that's it. You literally brought Aleister Black back the SmackDown after WrestleMania last year. It's just absolutely puzzling, man. How do you have Motor City Machine Guns in your company and not like utilize them to the fullest? It's truly, truly crazy. It just completely killed any sort of excitement I had for this episode of SmackDown. Truly. So it opened up with Jacob Fatu. He addressed what happened on Monday Night Raw and what people have said, and he told Roman Reigns prove that he's not ready. And the Usos came out. Jimmy asked him to join them. Jay was like, it's a bit too late. Stepped up. He stepped up to Roman Reigns. It's a bit late for that. Then the MFT showed up. And Solo said that he's the one who brought him to WWE. And Solo said that he can make Jacob Fatu champion. Tama Tonga questioned why they're even out there wasting their time with Jacob Fatu. Fatu took Tama Tonga down. And said that the only person he should be talking to right now is Roman Reigns. But he challenged Solo Sikoa to a match, so I'll put a pin in that. You had Tiffany Stratton pick up the victory over Julia to become the new U.S. champion. Kiana James got involved. Tiffany Stratton stopped her, and Julia accidentally knocked her off the apron. There was a promo before this match where it seemed like Julia and Kiana James were on their way out anyway. As a team, not cut-wise. But she gets knocked off the apron. She reversed the PME, locked Tiffany Stratton into submission. She gets out of it, eventually does hit the PME, gets the victory. I don't know how I feel about that. I think this run with the U.S. Championship from day one has been garbage. Outside of Chelsea Green, what they've actually given her to do, they've not done nearly enough what they needed to with this U.S. Championship. They really haven't. Zelina Vega, she was just released, but when she was U.S. champion, they didn't do enough. You compare that to the Intercontinental Championship, it's night and day. It really is. So it's really disappointing. I don't want these flip-floppy title reigns. After that, you had Brie Bella and Paige make their returns. Charlexa interrupted them and said that they want the titles. They laid out a challenge. They accepted. We get the match. Paige and Brie Bella picking up the victory over Charlexa to retain the Tag Team Championships via disqualification. Fatal Influence showed up and attacked both teams, and I'm really happy that we get them as a call-up. I will put a pin in that. Cody Rhodes came out. He told the outside forces who have interfered in his WrestleMania matches to mind their own business. He also said that he's easy to find, hard to beat. He put Raw, NXT, and SmackDown on notice. Who's next for the WWE Championship challenging? I have no idea. We got the Judgment Day picking up the victory over the MFT to retain the Tag Team Championships. I liked Tama Tonga mocking R-Truth by doing his own 5-knuckle shuffle, but he missed. Damian Priest got tagged in. He took over. Mateo and Tonga Loa cheated in this multiple times. Almost led to the end of the match. I thought for a hot second, I thought that Damian Priest, or R-Truth, I think it was in the ring at that time, was about to lose the title. But Damian Priest got a blind tag in. He gets the victory off of that. After that, Trick Williams came out. Lil Yachty announced he's there to stay. The Gingerbread Man was back as well. And I was like, brother, that has to be Sami Zayn this week. It has to be. But Lil Yachty said that they're getting rid of the U.S. Open Challenge. And they celebrated Trick Williams. The Gingerbread Man attacked both of them. And he unmasked to reveal that he's Sami Zayn. I was 1 week early with that. So at least that led to Sami Zayn being the Gingerbread Man. So they're not done there. Sami was booed. I think the Gingerbread Man was cheered until it was revealed to be Sami. We had Danhausen pick up the victory over The Miz. Earlier they showed a few videos of Danhausen showing up to Miz's house and cursing it. He stole a Slammy as well. I thought those segments were funny. Maurice was involved. But this was a quick match. I think it's what you would have expected. You got the cursing. You got a fun chase away, and Danhausen escaped. They aired a vignette saying Blake Monroe is coming soon. There are two faces, if I'm not mistaken, in that singles division there. You have Jordan Grace, you have Tiffany Stratton. The SmackDown women's division is really lacking. Singles-wise. Rhea Ripley came out afterwards, said that if anyone wants to step up to her, now's their chance. Fatal Influence came out again. They got so much more heat there than they did earlier. I thought that was incredible, though. That the whole segment with Rhea Ripley and Fatal Influence, I was such a fan of. Nick Aldis came out to set that up as a match. And then Rhea Ripley picked up the victory over JC Jane via disqualification. And I liked the match. I thought it was good. I think they had to do that kind of ending because you need to put Fatal Influence on the map there. And I hope that puts them on the map big time. I'm glad that Fatal Influence finally gets that call up. JC Jane has deserved this for years now. So I'm very much so looking forward to seeing what they do there. What happens with Blake Monroe? I don't know. When I said there's only two faces in the singles division, what are you doing? Like, you're just gonna have those three wrestling each other? I don't know. They aired a video package for Ricky Saints coming to SmackDown next week, so I think that's awesome. Main event saw Jacob Fatu pick up the victory over Solo Sikoa. Solo, earlier in the night, got in the face of Royce Keys. But in regards to this main event, like the other match, the MFT got involved. The Usos showed up. Fatu was annoyed at that. But eventually he hits he takes out the MFT during the match. Eventually hits the pop-up Samoan drop. Hits the moonsault, gets the victory. The MFT jump him. The Usos go down to the ring to look like they're getting involved. Fatu fights back and takes out the MFT. This episode of SmackDown, as far as Jacob Fatu, the Usos, and the MFT go, kind of a complete 180 from Monday Night Raw. Like, I was excited with the ending of Monday Night Raw. This, not so much. But at least Jacob Fatu looks like he's stronger than Roman Reigns here. So that gives me hope for Roman versus Jacob Fatu. I don't think Jacob Fatu is beating Roman Reigns, though. But that was SmackDown. I'm going to take a quick little break, and I'll be right back here on Markin Out.
Hey everybody, this is Ted DiBiase, and you're listening to Markin Out. And remember, everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Markin Out episode 794. Moving back to AAA from WrestleMania Saturday, you had Lince Dorado pick up the victory over Aerostar and Joaquin Wilde. I thought this was a fun match. I am such a fan of Aerostar, so I'm always happy to see him on programming that I'm able to see. I didn't think Lince Dorado was going to win this match, but I also didn't think that the end of the match was going to be the end of the match. So Lince gets that victory. Dorian Roldan had a segment in Maricela Pena's office. He spoke about how Mini Vikingo cost Vikingo a spot at WrestleMania, which I like that they added to that because Vikingo could have won the Intercontinental Championship for Penta and been in that ladder match. And he said that he thinks she should name him the general manager of AAA. She said give her a week to think about it. Maybe we'll see someone that's not a heel named as the general manager and it backfires on Dorian Roldan. We had Lola Vice and Mr. Iguana pick up the victory over La Hiedra and Dinamico to retain the Mixed Tag Team Championships. I really liked that Lola Vice was doing the Iguana gimmick and then locked La Hiedra. She goaded her in. She got her in an armbar. I thought that was a great spot. There was a moment where I could swear La Hiedra tapped out, but the match kept going. Mr. Iguana reversed the move, hit Ponga Verde, gets the victory there. Backstage, El Grande Americano was talking to somebody about what he had said about the culture and winning Rey de Reyes. Turned out to be Tejano Jr. And I thought that was awesome. It was great to see him. Americano said that it's his duty to defend Mexico. It's his duty to defend AAA. And then he asked to team up with him next week. So we're going to be seeing them versus El Macias and Mecha Wolf. If Tejano Jr. is back in the picture here, I would really like to see him face Dominic Mysterio for that Mega Championship just to give Dominic another notch I think getting a victory over Tejano Jr. would be awesome for Dom before Dom loses it at Triple Mania. Earlier, backstage, the War Raiders were randomly beating up Murder Clown, and Pagano and Psycho Clown jumped in. The Raiders left. You cut to the main event. You had Ivar pick up the victory over Psycho Clown. Psycho Clown controlled a lot of that match, and Ivar caught Psycho Clown off a dive, goes for the moonsault. I thought that was going to be the end of the match. But Psycho Clown moved. The referee got knocked down. Ivar ate an air raid crash, but Eric showed up. He got involved. The Raiders took Psycho Clown down. That causes him the match. And then backstage, Psycho Clown's arguing with Pagano. Psycho Clown, they split their ways. He ends up seeing Murder Clown taken out. And Pagano's bandana was there. So they've been teasing this as Pagano being the person who's been taking out Los Psycho Circus. I don't want to see it, but it seems likely to happen. I think both of them can do great things separately. But I've been enjoying them as a team. So we'll see what happens from there. Moving over to TNA Impact, it opened up with Nick Nemeth picking up the victory over Bear Bronson. So it did not set up a match for Creative Pro like I had thought. But the system was ringside. Ryan Nemeth did commentary. Bronson controlled a lot of this match at the start. Alicia Edwards got involved. Nick Nemeth was able to take over at one point. I like that DDT spot where Bronson got back up after getting dropped, and then he got hit with a super kick. You had Bronson hold on to the rope during the first attempt of the Danger Zone to get out of that. Then the system eventually surrounded Nick Nemeth outside the ring. Casey Navarro came out. Ryan helped Nick up. He ends up getting the victory off of that. Hits a super kick, hits Danger Zone. Backstage later on, the system said that they're going to correct that mistake. And Cedric also spoke about how he should get another title shot. Leon Slater used the title. He needs to get that shot. We had an Elijah concert. Somebody came out. People thought maybe it was Elijah, and then the lights came up. You realized it was Frankie Kazarian. And he went to go sing. Elijah showed up, choked him out with a guitar strap, said they're going to have a Walk with Elijah guitar strap match, and then he performed. So I'm looking forward to seeing a Walk with Elijah guitar strap match. The casket match that they had, the guitar case match, was fantastic. So I'm hoping that is also a fun match. You had Dutch pick up the victory over Matt Hardy. Before the match, Matt Hardy took a table out, sprayed sacrifice on it, and spoke about that throughout the match. Matt beat Dutch up outside the ring a little bit, controlled, I would say, most of the match. And he set Dutch up on the table to do an elbow drop. The table's leg broke. The table itself did not crack in half. And then Matt set the table up again, suplex Dutch through it. Right before he could win, Vincent showed up. He threw a chair in the ring to distract the referee and then dragged Matt Hardy off the top rope. Dutch hit that swing and slam, got the victory. After the match, Dutch beat Matt Hardy down. Jeff Hardy made the save. You had a segment with Lei Ying Lee. She came out. It was supposed to be Xia Brookside's time to talk. She wanted to know why Xia Brookside did what she did at Rebellion. And Xia came out and said that Lei Ying Lee got in her way. She cost her title shot when she showed her that video of Robbie Brookside wishing her luck and supporting her. It got in her head. And I thought Xia Brookside was really good on the mic here. I liked that emotion from Lei Ying Lee. I like the emotion from both of them here. She said that she'll always be by Xia's side. They hugged. There were the tears, etc. And Xia faked accepting the apology. She attacked Lei Ying Lee. I really hope that you strap, what is the saying? Strap the rocket to the moon with Xia Brookside. Because I was very impressed here. I would like to see her in Birthright, but I feel like that's a bit difficult given that they're on two separate companies. You had Elena Black pick up the victory over Katie Arquette. I don't like matches like this. I think they're dumb if you're somebody who's already established, but the TNA roster is not like deep enough to have a proper match to showcase Elena Black. Otherwise, you're just beating the same two over and over again at that point. So you have to have enhancement talent of some sorts. I just wish that wasn't the case. The main event saw Mike Santana pick up the victory over Rich Swann to retain the championship. This was even, and I think they had really good back and forth. I liked that all of Santana's challengers so far have been former champions, but now beating Rich Swann here, I would like to see new opponents. I don't know who that will be, but I would like to see someone who hasn't been champion yet step up to Mike Santana for a shot. So that's TNA Impact. Hey, Brandon, got any shout-outs?
This is Droopy Dog, and you're listening to Brandon's shout-outs.
The first shout-out goes to Beef, which Season 1 was out in 2021, I believe it was. But you don't need to see that in order to watch this. It's an anthology series. It's comedy, thriller, drama. This season stars Oscar Isaac and Carey Mulligan. They're a married couple. Kaylee Spaney and Charles Melton play another couple who blackmail the others. You watched part of Season 1, right?
A little bit.
So
Not enough to say that I watched it.
They all work at an exclusive high-end country club in this season. So some of it kind of reminded me of The White Lotus. I think I enjoyed this season more than the first season, but I really enjoyed Season 1 as well. So if you've not seen that, I highly recommend that. It sucks that we most likely won't see these characters again for another season because I really enjoyed these characters. But like I said, Beef out on Netflix. Check it out. My next shout out goes to Roommates, which is also out on Netflix, a brand new movie starring Sadie Sandler and Chloe East. They play college roommates. Sandler in high school has no friends and meets, I guess you would say, a cool girl at freshman orientation. They become roommates. Things go awry. It's a black comedy. The rest of the cast is pretty stacked.
I actually started this movie, so this one I actually have to finish.
Sarah Sherman, Natasha Lyonne, Nick Kroll, Carol Kane, Janine Garofalo. So many more. It's a Happy Madison movie. So I expect there to be people who automatically trash it, but I enjoy this movie.
Mm-hmm. From what I saw so far, I'm enjoying it. I mean,
how
I'm
much
not expecting...
have you watched so far?
I'm probably 30 minutes in. They just got to their room and they're having the awkward, like, are you going to sleep yet? And she's like, no, I stay up until like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
So I'm at like that part.
Well, my last, I have to give an anti-shout out to WWE 2K26.
Oh, here it goes.
So Season 2 of the Ringside Pass came out last week. Originally, this could have been part of my mark out moment, kind of. We got Demolition, we got Kelly Kelly. I think she's awesome to use. I think Demolition could be fun to use, but they also made it so we can't edit their face paint. So, in my opinion, they're one of the worst DLCs that we've ever gotten. Which is unfortunate because I enjoy playing as them, but I'd also like more options to have for their face paints. I also think they could have given us a Demolition version of Mr. Fuji. But the rest of the pass is garbage. It's a Borderlands crossover for whatever reason. So that was super annoying. And then having to grind on top of that was really, really annoying. And instead of putting people like actual people from that era, the Monday Night Wars, the game that it's based around, the era that it's based around, they give Borderlands. And then they also added the Chicago World Tour stop. Make you jump through a million hoops to get Seth Rollins 2015 that we've already had. That card is not worth the pain and suffering that they're making people go through to get that. They treat people like dogs. They truly, truly do. Like filth. Like the bottom scum of the earth. They're truly the hardest matches I've ever played in WWE 2K26. It absolutely infuriated me. It's not fun. It's disrespectful. It's so disrespectful. And of course, I win the match, and what happens? After it must have been 80 attempts to try and win the final match. It freezes. Of course it freezes. It's garbage. 2K treats their customers like garbage. Those are my shout-outs. Those are the anti-shout-out. Now it's time for our...
Mark Out Moment of the Week.
That is right, our Mark Out Moment of the Week. A video game that I did pop for. Fortnite. Added Stone Cold Steve Austin and Liv Morgan last week. Not all happy about the prices that I had to pay for that, especially since they're making you pay more for less. So that sucks, but it's cool to see Stone Cold and Liv Morgan in a non-WWE video game.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely pop for the WWE Hall of Fame. Did you watch any of it or not really?
No.
I think it was cool to see. You didn't see clips at all even?
No, I just saw the backlash about how some of the Hall of Famers weren't getting speeches.
Well, I mean, that the legacy wing.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it was cool to see Michael Cole and The Miz host. Also, to talk about WrestleMania, because there were some commercials here. WrestleMania had way too many commercials.
Mm-hmm.
That had way too many commercials. But the Hall of Fame, I thought it was really cool. Undertaker narrated the opening video package. Stephanie's video package, I thought, was really well done. Her daughters and Linda McMahon inducted her. Demolition was inducted by Haku, Arn Anderson, and Warlord. I was not in a million years expecting to see those three. So I thought that was really cool. Dennis Rodman was inducted by Kevin Nash and X-Pac. They came out to the Wolfpack theme song. I don't know if the last time they came out to the Wolfpack theme song might have been in TNA. I think TNA used the real Wolfpack theme. I'm not 100% sure. So if not, it would have been WCW. Hogan vs. Andre was inducted by Jimmy Hart, Nick Hogan, and Robin Rusimov. And I popped because at WrestleMania when they had the Hall of Fame segment, she had a black single strap on. And then I went back to watch to see if she had a single strap at the Hall of Fame, and it was I think she had like a pink dress or something on. So it didn't click in my head that she had the single strap until you had the black classic Andre the Giant strap. So I thought that was really cool. And then AJ Styles was inducted by the Good Brothers. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
You have any mark out moments?
I agree. For me, it was everything at Epic Universe and stuff like that marked out for the Monsters ride and stuff. We did wear wrestling-themed T-shirts on WrestleMania Day 1 on Saturday. So we were a bunch of marks. We did get a lot of comments on the shirts. Marked out for everything. And the pizza that we had the deep dish pizza, which was incredible. I forgot where. Giordano's. I forgot the place. Huh?
Giordano's.
Yep, that's the place that we ordered from.
I marked out that Joe Jonas, they had him doing a lot. He did a behind-the-scenes vlog, which was really cool. It's on the Jonas Brothers YouTube account, but they had him on WWE Espanol. I almost said ESPN. He did Pin Pon with Andrea Basarte. I thought that was really cool. I thought I would never have in a million years expected that. And Joe Jonas he grew up as a wrestling fan, so apparently Enzo Amore went to school with, or not went to school. He was in Boy Scouts with Kevin.
That's weird.
Yeah. So I thought that was really cool that you could watch Pin Pon and Joe Jonas was on it. Do you have any other mark out moments?
No, take it home.
Well, that was Markin Out episode 793. Thank you so much for tuning in. You could follow us on Twitter at Markin Out, at BTDG161 on all platforms. Chris Sweendog, CM2085, David PTDPT on all platforms. Facebook.com/MarkinOut. YouTube and Instagram are Markin Out 11. ProWrestlingTees.com/MarkinOut. Rate, review, subscribe. Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify Podcasts. I already said YouTube. MarkinOut.com. Follow us on TikTok at Markin Out. And we wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. Have a fantastic week.